Good morning. One sober to another. I hope you caught last night's video. Today's daily reflection, September 4th, 2020, Reconstruction. Let's go. Reconstruction. Yes, there is a long period of reconstruction ahead. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 82. The reconstruction of my life is the prime goal in my recovery as I avoid taking the first drink. One day at a time. The task is most successfully accomplished by working the steps of our fellowship. The spiritual life is not a theory. It works, but I have to live it. Step 2 started me on my journey to develop a spiritual life. Step 9 allows me to move into the final phase of the initial steps, which taught me how to live a spiritual life. Without the guidance and strength of a higher power, it would be impossible to proceed through the various stages of reconstruction. I realize that God works for me and through me. Proof comes to me when I realize that God did for me what I could not do for myself. By removing the gnawing compulsion to drink, I must continue daily to seek God's guidance. He grants me a daily reprieve and will provide the power I need for reconstruction. God, 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 God. For those of you that don't believe in God, and that's not a piece of your vocabulary, replace it with whatever gives you bigger strength. In my case, I call it a higher power. And for me, that is God. It doesn't have to be for you, so don't get wrapped around the coil on that. The points are the same. In order to rebuild yourself from for me, I was a deluded person who was in disbelief of a lot of things that went wrong in my life due to alcohol and due to my alcoholism. Alcoholism is cunning, baffling, and powerful, and it takes on a whole new purpose when it becomes your life. Everything else becomes non-essential. So here it says in step 2, that's a long pause. That's because I'm kind of digesting a little more of this. Step 2 started me on my journey to develop a spiritual life. Step 2 is I came to believe in a power greater than myself. And I believed it could restore me to sanity. Now, I never believed in God before I started to get sober, and it dawned on me that there was no way that I could have stopped that myself. I mean, I was drinking off of Antabuse, and I still can't get the clinical name of that. I'm sorry, but it's a pill it's a drug designed to induce vomiting when you drink alcohol, like immediately. A lot of folks either have seizures or just die or go into a coma when they drink over Antabuse. But I was doing it anyway. When I would drink, my body temperature would elevate well close to danger levels, and my heart would race so fast. And, I was struggling to put down a 6-pack. And for some reason, I thought that I had to have the alcohol and that it'll be okay, this time. I found myself convulsing on my own floor in my barracks bedroom and nobody around, and my heart was pounding through my chest, and I was pretty freaking certain that something bad was going to happen. But I still tried to drink another beer on top of that. Alcohol is a beast. And so for that obsession to be removed from me, it had to take more than just my own power, because I had gotten to a point where, my own power only led me to the liquor store. And once I was tanked up, my own power would lead me to go do other insane things in a blackout. And, you know, each result was different, but none of them were ever good. So something brought me back after 23 years of drinking. And I came to believe in a power greater than myself. And it did restore me back to sanity. September is all about step 9, and we talked a little bit about step 9 yesterday. And making amends is one of the largest healing factors that you can have, because it's not only ridding yourself of a burden that's holding you down and possibly committing you to resentments that might not even be true, but lead you back to the same thought process that you had during your active alcoholism, or that I had during my own alcoholism. And that's a dangerous place to be. So the reconstruction process has to be built upon your belief in a power greater than yourself, and that's what I do. And I'm granted a daily reprieve to where, I get the opportunity to allow my higher power to work through me and to show to other people through my actions and my commitments and my promises that I make to them through the promises that I'm going to do what I say. And that helps to rebuild those relationships. Now, not every relationship is going to be rebuilt, so you cannot, or for me, I could not expect that to be an immediate thing, or to be, something that was going to happen, regardless of what I did. Just because I was sober, I had to put in the work. And that's kind of what it boils down to for me. The proof comes to me, when I realized God did for me what I couldn't do for myself. And I explained that a little bit just, a couple seconds ago. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you, and I wouldn't be sitting here putting my time and effort into making videos to explain my experiences, strength, and hope, so that you are able to take from it if you are suffering, because not everybody is, and rebuild your life. Because if you are at a point to where I was in my drinking history, then right now you are not doing that well. And if you are sober and you're thriving in your sobriety, that's awesome. But you got to keep striving for progress. And these are one of the ways to do it, is through the daily reflections. That's the only thoughts I have for this morning. Leave your comments below, because I'm pretty sure that each person interprets these a little bit different. Steps 2 and 9, they don't apply differently, but they resonate differently with people. And I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. I'll leave you with this. If you didn't have a higher power, would you be watching this video? If you didn't have a higher power working in your life, would you be sober? If you didn't have a higher power working in your life, would you be able to have the relationships you have right now? Or would you be back in the bottom of the bottle where you were before? Food for thought. Life's a garden, people. Dig it. I got to go to work. I'll see you in the next one.